Cheers! Howdy do, buckaroos. How the heck are you? I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer for the purposes of this particular video. Oh, it does say Beer Whisperer as well, because, you never know. Anyways, I digress. So yeah, I picked up this Hyde whiskey last weekend, last Friday, actually, about a week ago. Uh, Hyde, 1893 commemorative edition, single malt. Sherry cask finish at 92 proof, single malt Irish, limited edition, triple distilled, non-chill filtered. The stuff is very good, and I've only drank it neat up until this point. When I tried it, well, I thought I'd do something a little bit different with it. It is out of Cork, Ireland. So try to do a Manhattan inspired cocktail by way of Cork, I suppose. So what I've used here is 3 ounces of the whiskey. So instead of a sweet vermouth, again, keeping with an Irish theme, I've used this Celtic goddess, described as a. So in place of the sweet vermouth, I'm using, well, it is, it is a Missouri wine, but with a Celtic theme or an Irish theme, if you will. So anyway, Celtic goddess. And some black walnut bitters in a nice fancy glass that my wife picked up at a thrift store out there. Trying real hard not to spill, but it's very difficult. Oh gosh, I scored this. This is a style of glass that most upscale bars will serve your Manhattan into, which is why I decided to use it. Got that little star up front. I don't know if you can see that there. I will tell you though that the amounts that I typically use, it wouldn't hold quite all of it, so I poured the rest of it here into the shot glass because I wanted to get it all in there. So anyway, yeah, I poured it right to the top. So the idea was to, keep the Irish theme moving, right? So I had the Irish whiskey, even though the Keltaway isn't Irish per se, they are of Irish, heritage, Irish inspired, let's say. Oh, buck nuggets and gravy. Oh, that's good, man. I do like this Celtic Oz. It's a great dessert wine. They don't call it a port. They say it's kind of port-like, whatever that means. I believe it means it's fortified. But it's added a little color to the cocktail, as you can see. So I've got a white dessert wine at the same proof they call the Purple Harp that I might try if I want to do more of a white or a dry version of the same drink. But I wanted to start here because I wanted to kind of recreate, well, not recreate, but kind of reimagine, if you will, a Manhattan using the Irish as the base whiskey, taking the sweet vermouth out altogether, using the Celtic goddess, and then using the black walnut bitters, and then a nice cherry at the bottom of the glass. Biscuits and gravy. That's good. That's good, man. I don't care who you are. As always, anybody watching, any questions or comments, put it up there. I'm going to grab my other device here and just kind of look at something real fast. Oops, that's what was wrong. That's the problem. Anyway, sometimes my settings get messed up, and I'm not sure how that happens, but try to set it up so it'll always be public, but sometimes these get set up as private for some reason. I can't figure out how it keeps. It's obviously it's a default, but I can't figure out how to get it off of there. There we go. Anyways, I apologize for that. Trying to get that fixed real quick for y'all. Anyways, I digress. And cheers. Or slunch, if you will. Yeah, I know most bars will serve your Manhattan in a glass very similar to this one. Very nice glass. My wife found, I guess she only found one of them. They're very beautiful, though. I probably won't use it often because I don't want to get broke. But I want to use it at least once here. God, that's a gorgeous glass, isn't it? Oh, mercy, Percy. That's good. Yeah. So why the black walnut? Why not use another bitter? So I have several bitters on hand. I have orange bitters. I have cherry bitters. I have black walnut bitters. Of course, I have your standard Angostura bitters. Quite frankly, all of them would work. The main reason I went with the black walnut because I wanted that balance, right? The black walnut's a little more pungent. Um, I don't know if bitter is the right word, but I wanted to kind of balance the sweetness I knew I was putting in the drink. So I thought I'd do the cherry, uh, but I knew that was going to add an additional little sweetness, especially on the nose. So that's why I used the black walnut as a balance. But quite frankly, in all honesty, I think all of them would have worked depending on your mood. Go the black walnut, even the orange, the traditional Angostura, or the cherry bitters. I do like those cherry bitters. I've been using them a lot. I tend to use the black walnut more in the fall and winter, but I want to use them one more time here. And then in the spring and summer, I really like those cherries. I used to really be stuck on the orange, but since I bought that cherry bitters, I really like them. Although a friend just told me he bought some black cherry bitters. So now I'm on the hunt. Now I gotta find the black cherry bitters, man. Anyways, I digress. Oh, I'm off tomorrow, Friday. Got some things I'm doing early in the afternoon into the early pre-evening, I guess, on Saturday. But then I'll probably be back on Saturday. Um, I'm hoping to do my usual. So I had been doing my at the pub episodes on Thursdays, and it looks like I'm going to have to change that. I don't know if I need to make them on Wednesdays or Fridays. I'm kind of going back and forth because you really need to have one day where they air to get the most, the most out of it. I guess the most views, people get used to seeing you on one day. As I was doing the Thursdays, you could see that volume growing a little bit at a time. But now Thursdays is going to look like it's going to be out of the question. So I either got to go to Wednesday or Friday from here, and I'm not sure which way would be better. I like Fridays, but a lot of folks have to get guests on the show. Folks have a lot of plans on Friday, so that makes it a little bit more difficult, especially musicians. Right? I won't be able to book any musicians on Friday. You know? Yeah, because that's their busy day. So I don't know. I'm kind of going back and forth on some things. I might have to start doing some more recorded episodes and then air them on either Wednesday or Friday, whatever I decide that day is going to be. And that might be the direction I have to go, even though I just love the live medium, right? I like the live, the spontaneous, you never know who's going to ask questions. It just kind of gets that way. So, anyways, I digress. Oh, mercy. That was a nice cocktail, man. Look at that. That's beautiful. That's a work of art, man. That's a work of art, man. And pour the rest of that one in here. Couldn't get it all in there. So the best Manhattan I've ever had out. That's kind of a tie between a couple places. Back in 2017, no, it was earlier than that, 2015. 2015, my wife and I stayed a couple of nights at the Moonrise Hotel in St. Louis. And wow, yeah, that was fun, man. It's a very interesting hotel, a little bit on a different side. They're usually rather expensive, but I got us an incredible deal for the nights we stayed up there. But anyway, on their rooftop bar, they did a month-old Manhattan, and that thing was insane. But downstairs bar, they did a year-old Manhattan. So I tried those two, and both of them are crazy good. So I really can't pick a winner between those two just because. However, here's the however. The other one that I really can't pick a winner from is back in 2019, I guess. We stayed in the Kansas City area, and I went to a Tomstown distillery in Kansas City and had their Manhattan using their Pendergast Royal Gold. And that, oh man, that bartender there made one mean Manhattan. That was great. So I really can't decide between those, but you know, to pick one. But those are the best three Manhattans I've ever had out. I didn't get a chance to get to Jay Rieger's. I need to get back up there to visit Jay Rieger's distillery. I didn't go, well, because we had other things going on. And be honest with you, I don't know. I just kind of, I'm not sure how to say this right. The the way it read when I looked it up online, it seemed a little bit on the pretentious side, even though I love their whiskey. But I didn't really just didn't have a chance to get out that way, or I probably would have went anyway. But I love Tomstown a lot. Oh, I wasn't sure how this would work, to be honest with you, because uh, well, but I've used the Celtic goddess before in place of the sweet vermouth, but the Hyde Irish whiskey is such a different animal. I wasn't sure how it would work, and I got to be honest with you, it is nice, man. It's very nice. So, anyways, here's to you. Anyways, I digress, man. I digress, man. Anyway, this is going to wrap it up for me for this evening. I want to come back to one cocktail with you. Hopefully tomorrow I can do my at the pub podcast show. It runs an hour. Friday I have it planned from 5 to 6. Hopefully that'll still be good. I've got a local musician lined up. I'm not going to mention their name until tomorrow, until I know nothing happened. But here's the thing, though. I mean, they're an amazing musician, great voice. So if they happen to be able to book a gig, hey, I'm not going to hold that against them. I'm really not. Because most musicians aren't available on a Friday. Then again, they may be willing to do a video between 5 to 6. They might have a gig as after that. Anyways, I digress. But I digress, man. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist. Oh, excuse me. That's gonna hurt later. Uh, Prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, man. That's a nice. Let me see, make sure you get a good look at that star on that glass. That's just gorgeous, isn't that? Anyways, anyway, I digress. Let me just skip to the end and say, all right, good guy, Sláinte. And that is good. Yeah, Keltoy Winery, man, we really like them a lot. They are a lot of fun out there. I got to tell you, I was reluctant really to, my wife started showing interest in wine, so we started. We thought we'll do some wine tastings. The first one we went to was Keltoy, and before we walked in there, we didn't know what we're getting into. We walked in there, and oh my gosh, this place is awesome. but the other part of that is it almost spoiled us for other wineries because they are so friendly and so unpretentious that we hold every winery we go to since then to that standard, and that's kind of been a problem, right? Because we go to several wineries, and okay, no, they're not for us. Wine's okay, but the pretentiousness just doesn't work for us. The Keltoy is the most unpretentious winery you can ever go to, and the products are just insanely good. So there you go. One more time with feeling. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor, wisdom man. Oh my God, that was nice. All right, good guy. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.